I'm a little cigarette.
This is
I like that a little cigarette. So what I was gonna say is, yeah, if you feel like I'm gonna try my hardest not to do my Peter speed demon talking. I'll try not to. But if you don't understand, or you do understand me, and you can't say it in English, if you want to respond in Italian, you can. It's fine.
Oh, yes. Maybe if I want to explain very
Thoroughly.
particular, that also in Italian are difficult to explain.
Perfect.
But maybe sometimes in English it can be better.
You can
It
do.
depends maybe on my mood. And yes, so
You can do both too. Oh, I had a lighter in my. I need to quit. This has to end.
when you started to do it,
It's been just a little over a year.
and how many people you...
And actually, I quit for 2 months. I wasn't smoking in May and June. And then I started again in July when my house
I'm
burned.
not smoking, to interview,
I started in...
together with smoking.
No, I started in San Francisco. I think it was August I started doing it. But I haven't done some in a while, but I want to get... I'm scheduled you and I scheduled a few other people in the next few weeks. It was good to take a break. It was a little
Yes.
too much.
And what you like more than in this action? Let's say action. In this things. What you like?
About doing this?
Yeah, about do it.
I like talking to people, and I think that, I used to do interviews on tape recorders.
Yeah.
So I used to do this years ago. Unfortunately, all those tapes burned, and I didn't digitize most of them, which is something I was thinking about.
That was analogic.
It was all analog, yeah. And a lot, I'm talking hundreds of hours. Well, the main reason I like doing
Always
it...
with artists.
Do what?
Always with artists.
No. Actually, I had a project for a while where I was only... And I'm open to that on this thing too, but I actually would... I interviewed people like if a plumber came over to the house, or like an electrician on the street, or a garbage man, a postal worker. I had a bunch of them. No, I really like talking to people, just in case you didn't pick that up. Oh, wait, did you actually? Yes. Wait. It's fine, it's fine.
No, this is the water.
That's fine. Oh, perfect. No, it's fine. I was about to drink it, that's fine. Okay, a little rock here. And... yeah, you're pretty much the first person... You're the first person that I've interviewed who actually listened to the other episodes, because before the rest of them hadn't come out. Oops. This chair sucks. Actually, I'm gonna grab this. No, you sit that one. No, it's actually about noise. I'm gonna grab this one upstairs. Nick Nolan comes back tomorrow. Tomorrow I start painting again. I'm very excited. The holidays are over. Okay, so
Yes.
will you...
Let's put it in
We can do
here,
this, it's fine.
so we can...
Spilled on the computer. I ruined the computer by spilling the drink on it. That's horrible. Still painful to think about. I lost like 2 years worth of work because I couldn't get it to recover. Like I literally poured.
A lot.
I was watching a movie and my friend surprised me and I was drinking and I just like threw my drink. Just died. Okay, let's see. This is a little closer to you. Can you talk for a second? Just
Bla bla. Ciao.
yeah, you
Mi
want
senti?
you want to talk. You can either scoot a little bit
Yes.
further.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Okay, more.
Introduce yourself.
My voice. I'm Lucia. Bricco is my surname.
Bricco.
Bricco.
Bricco. Lucia Bricco.
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 Br.
Bricco.
Bricco.
Okay. I'm gonna fuck it up. Okay, so let's finish our cigarette and then we'll sing the intro. You forgot how it goes.
Ah, yes.
Hold on.
But I have to sing it.
Why don't you try it once without me and see how it goes?
Sing radio. Who does refuse to listen? I think
That's
that's
awesome.
the radio. No.
Well, alright.
Ta-
Time waster radio. Radio for those who refuse to listen. And try again.
The name is
Time waster radio.
Time Western Radio.
Time waster radio. Radio for those who refuse to listen. Perfect. Okay. Today we have Lucia Bricco on the show. We're sitting in Kypseli in Athens, Greece, at my temporary studio, which is called Entrance Studio, but it's entrance in Greek. How do you pronounce entrance in Greek? You're the one taking Greek lessons.
Isodos.
Isodos?
Yes,
Nah.
Isodos.
Perfect.
Exodus is exit. Isodos.
Isodos. Okay. Well, I start Greek lessons next week, so. You're not Greek though, you're Italian.
Yes.
And why don't you start off just telling where you're from in Italy?
I'm from Turin, that is in the north of Italy.
Okay.
And I moved here in Athens almost 9 months ago.
And why did you move to Athens?
Because I was not satisfied to live in my own city for many reasons. One maybe more psychological,
Okay.
because for me it's difficult to live in my own place because I'm so curious to see another one, and also because my own place is not the place that give me, or maybe in my own town I felt that I could not be myself so much.
And
I
were
don't know
there...
if my English is
No.
primitive, but
No, that makes sense completely.
yes, okay. And for those reasons, yes, for me it was more easy go away than rest,
Yeah.
than stay.
Did you feel stagnant making work there, or...
I felt many pressures because maybe I was afraid that to mistake in a way, and I think this kind of fear is not the good way to try to begin your experimentation.
So you're-
Experiments. I like to try and without things too much because I think a lot, and maybe this is not yes.
So good.
Also, I felt many places there in a way jealous of or closed, or I don't know. Maybe these kind of things it depend not too much from the place itself, but about my point of view there. Probably the same things are everywhere, but when you are foreigners, you can just skip it because you don't know. and you cannot understand too much, too very well the language, and it's enough for you because everything you receive is material, and that's it. It's not.
It's challenging living here. Just to, you have to learn. Everything's kind of new-ish. It's a little bit easier for you, I think.
Anything is a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
maybe after 9 months, I start to see dynamics, places have my own opinion, and I'm fighting a bit with my opinion because anyway, this opinion is an obstacle.
We'll get to your opinions. I know you have a couple strong ones I want to talk about with concern to art and sale, but before that, maybe just describe generally the kind of work that you do.
Yes. Before to start to study in the Academy of Fine Art, I studied 3 in Turin, 3 years. I studied scenography. Yes.
Cinema? No.
No, is the art to build the environment behind the scene in the theater or in the cinema, the television, like that. But just for 1 year.
What did you call it? What was it?
Scenography. Scenografia.
Okay.
Is in and
we call it theater design in America.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, so you did theater design.
Then I decided to start to study in the academy because I felt that I needed more, something more. I didn't know what, but the school that I did, it was very practical. I like a lot to do practical stuff, like with wood, with any kind of this kind of work. And then I started studied there 3 years, and then I moved to Madrid for Erasmus 1 year, and then I decided to change in Italy to change the academy to finish my studies because I would like to change school and knew another city, and I moved to Rome for 1 year. Then I had to finish. I was almost finished. Then I had a big car accident that gave me the possibility to study, to study 1 year more, to stay there more. And at the end, I was falling in love with the city, and I stayed 3 years in Rome. Okay. And then I came back in Turin, and I lived there 2 years, and then I'm here now. And
can we go back to what happened in the car accident? I've heard you talk about this before, but
yes.
I didn't.
I don't want to...
You don't want to talk about it?
No, it's okay for me, but because I spent a lot of time speaking about this,
okay.
Maybe it's just a big car accident, as every accident you can have in life, not only physically, no. Okay. It's, for me, like it was a very big change in my life, like okay. the bigger one, and it was like to born again and discover anything again, like as an adult. That it was for me the bigger possibility that life give to me. But yes,
like a house burning down.
What?
Like my house when my heart burned.
Yes, maybe little. I don't know. Each person has his own traumas,
yeah.
And this is there was one to resume all the accident in one sentence.
Yeah.
That was my ending point to start again. It was that I was very angry because nobody can understand me, because I lose the trust to everything, in one moment. But then I decided to do a little click in my mind that is to turn upside down these kind of thoughts, that if nobody can understand me, probably there are a lot of possibility that I can understand a lot, or there is this possibility that I can understand a lot also in the little trauma of the people, no? Like because trauma, the sides of a trauma you cannot. We are not able to decide because for each one,
Different for every person.
something that for you can be big, for me is nothing, and whatever. So
Yeah.
yes, and from that, yes, and coming back to the question. I started doing scenography, but I had not the mind of. I was close in a sort of category. It's not as I feel now. It was another work. Then in the academy, I started doing more videos, and then.
But performance in the video? Or?
Yes, performing in the videos. And in the last 2 years and a half, I grow my performance activities and also drawings a lot. In Rome, the last year, I was already finished my studies, but I knew that a very good performance artist came to teach there. So I was, as a clandestine student, because it was not in script anymore, I went there and it was my change, really. I didn't know a lot of things about contemporary performance, because in Italy there is not this
like a rich history of it?
subject.
It's not a lot of people doing it, or just not a long history?
It's not in the art school so much.
Yeah.
Maybe this year more.
Yeah.
But before there is a sculpture, paintings, scenography, and also decoration, other stuff, but no performance.
When you were making things, like you said, you liked to work with wood. Did you consider that sculpture, or did you?
No, it was more building
Stuff for the sets and stuff. Or
yes.
just, oh.
Yes, for theater, for some companies.
Okay.
In theater.
And so now that leads us up to where, so you're mostly focusing on drawing and performance while you're here in Athens?
Yes.
Okay.
Together. And the last performance I did here in Subrosa space, it was the first time that I tried to do it together, to perform together with the drawings.
Why don't you describe kind of what was the piece like?
Sorry?
You want to describe the piece that you just did at Subrosa?
Yes, I covered all the floor of the space with a blanket, with a fabric, and the fabric was almost white. Anyway, it was very, similar white. And on this blanket I spray many lemons, like in quite order, like the one
like a wallpaper, lemons, or it was like a...
Yes, like this towel that you put on the table.
Tablecloth, yes.
Something like that. And in one point of in a corner of the space, there was this fabric was going on the wall a bit, and the drawings was a big goat that was in the middle of the space, and I started trying to, from this part of the fabric that was going on the wall, I was trying to put my body behind, between the wall and the fabric, and slowly, then I put some glasses as this one that goes under the earth, the ground.
Like mining?
Yes,
yeah.
Like this. For me, was maybe it's more similar to the swimming, to this kind of glasses.
Swimming goggles?
Yes, and then I love this moment because there was the elevator ringing, and I went slowly I went down, and I start to, I don't know the verb in English.
You were crawling under the fabric?
Crawling under the fabric. I had a little bag in my back, and there was inside some tools, but nobody knew before which one. And then So I made a little mountain under this, and then I had in my bag some one scissor, and I did a little hole, and I tried to look the goat, and of course it was very difficult. Also, this goat was very high and very tall, and with very long legs.
Okay.
That goes to the. So then I take some one floating. No, floating. This
Inflatable?
Inflatable,
Mm-hmm.
yes. There was a sort of man inside my bag that I can. So I went in a corner, in another part, and I started slowly to build another mountain next to me.
Okay.
And this man had two arms, little arms. So there was a moment that, because there was people around, that blocked the fabric with the feet.
Yeah.
So there was a moment that the man cannot grow anymore. So with the scissor I cut a bit of the fabric, and I put outside the arms, and there was this man like that. Then I move again. So at the end we were three identity, yes. And then when I was alone, I cut again the fabric, and I put outside my legs too, and slowly I came out, and I just checked the goat, and very deeply doing a path around the drones,
Mm-hmm.
and I went
Fini?
finito.
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 How long do you think it took? How long was the piece?
Maybe 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's pretty reasonable. Sometimes, it can go on for 2 days. Yeah, you've done some endurance pieces though too, right? You've done some endurance pieces that take longer, or like out in public, like longer pieces.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very difficult time in performance. Is the most important material that you have in your hand, because some action, if you run behind them, then you cannot. If you are one little cent before your own action, sometimes it happens. For me, it happens in my works that I was a bit before the action, and these kind of things destroy completely. So I needed to stop the action and give them the possibility to evolve, to grow.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
And yes, and sometimes in the opposite side, when you are when I'm doing for too long one things that I love, then you need to find an exit in a way. You need to. Yes.
So in some ways, are you thinking in like theater terms too, in a way like there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, or like for the piece?
Before, so if I was
do you think about it, or do you improvise? Or is it?
I was thinking in a structures, and also to prepare a space in which I can feel very, I don't know the word, when I can feel so sensitive, so that a lot of things could give me the idea to do something. Like under this fabric, it was good for me to don't prepare too much things. I had these little bags with my possibilities.
Yeah.
And this was enough.
I do something similar. That's kind of I like to have options.
Yes.
Because I don't like to have a preconceived
Yes.
notion of what's going to happen.
For me, it was because then if I have not this freedom in this moment, I start to acting a bit. It's
Yeah.
not. I cannot escape. Also, if I don't want, but yes, it's maybe I can maybe in 10 years I could prepare a performance and do it like myself. I am in this moment, but without acting. Until now, in this moment, I'm not able to do it. So it's good to. For me, it was good to prepare a bit the situation. I was working a lot on it. The drawings, it took me months to do it. But then, yes, something I improvised. I didn't prepare to cut the arms of this
For the
man.
guy,
And
yeah.
it was very, very great. Other stuff. I didn't prepare the exit. How I finish it. I didn't prepare.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. I mean, so let's maybe go into that. So we've had the conversation before about performance, like, versus acting versus I have the argument that life is performance. I feel like every gesture is performance, but, and I can't remember if we agree or don't agree on that. I'm just kidding. But what is, I would say, so I would, maybe if we talk about what you think performance is, and then, or some of your influences, like who are the people that you enjoy or don't enjoy?
Performance is a big question. Every time I read some very good book, I had a sentence and I said, okay, this is the sentence. I have to remember when someone asks me what is performance. But then, like life, everything floating.
Flies away.
But in a way,
With a
it's
glass
part
of
of you.
wine.
You cannot. Maybe it's just the possibility, not just. It's the big possibility to see someone take decision.
Okay.
But very completely himself, no, because it's not something that you for casuality you do, no. It's something that you decide. Maybe it's for casuality, but you decide that this is for casuality, no.
Okay.
Is the improvisation, but knowing exactly where you want to go.
Okay.
Yes. And the other question was? Yes, some people.
People you enjoy or people that you don't enjoy, you can say both. We're an open-minded podcast.
Well, the
Radio show.
is not only performance artists, of course.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Anyone.
Yeah, my professor in Rome was that is Miriam Laplante. She's a very great performer artist. She teach me, but it's not about teaching. It's about be a different kind of human being, no? And this is not only about artists. Also, for example, now I read a book that is The Three Guineas of Virginia Woolf.
Oh yeah.
And it's the same material. It's always floating somewhere. It's the material that I'm interested in. Is this kind of preparing possibilities. Mm-hmm. I think this is the seeds for the world to be better, like in the future, no?
Yeah.
In the history, always there is some seeds in a way that opens new
And you read quite a bit, right?
In a period a lot, in some periods nothing, no.
Yeah.
So now it's cold in Athens.
Time
it's
to read.
Quite 5 degrees, and my house is not
So warm.
a heater. is pretty freezer, and
See, that's performance. There's a kid rolling in a chair.
yes, but he is conscious about it or not.
Maybe. Who knows?
We can.
Maybe it's slave labor too. They're making this kid roll a chair up the hill. Or he's just gonna let it go. He might. Hey.
This is a very good chair. Yeah? Probably we miss it.
I know, we missed it walking up here. Damn it. Or if they leave it. Oh my god. Totally gonna grab it.
Wait a minute.
Hey, they're leaving though. They're going. This is great. Thank you so much. Peter,
What is this?
it doesn't smell. They might have just spilled something wrong. It was raining today, so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Schoolwork. If only I could get more people to bring things up to this door. Yes, roll another cigarette. Yeah, so, I mean, for me, like, when people ask me who my favorite,
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm cornered and you want to say visual artists, you know, I go there, but in fact, I think a lot of writers are my biggest influence, although my reading has really dropped off in like the last 5 years. But I often go back to I'm really into short stories, so I love reading fictional short stories. I find them very inspirational. I also, you know, another thing that's really big for me is I hated art school. I mean, almost every fucking moment of it. That's a different story. But I love the history classes. Those were my favorite part. And I never, that's the only time that I was like truly inspired. I mean, I had students around me who were great and definitely influenced me, and some professors a little bit. But in general, it was the history books and like mixing and matching and figuring out.
Yes, yes. Also, it's very good to read like historical books, and then after 2 hours, another books like about mineral, and then you can get
Exactly.
quite a lot of connection, because also this kind of division, the categories, fucking this is quite.
I'm really into the Greek Christian iconography stuff right now, like that. I mean, it's just everywhere here, and I'm obsessed with it. But it's also like so not the type of style that I would paint, or so I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. But I want to get as many books and just devour every saint and every version of every saint.
You wrote the Metamorphosis.
Yes, I need to reread it. It's been years. This is the problem with getting old.
I forget all the books that I read, all the movies. I have completely no memories. This is a problem for me.
Yeah.
But in a way, I believe that they are in my mind. You know.
Was that part of the accident, or was that just don't soak things in?
No, just yes. I cannot remember, but I can remember the feeling very strong. I can remember the book, but I cannot repeat it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I only have like maybe 10 or 15 books that I could like give you the exact plot of. Most of the stuff I read, it's like, just you get a feeling, a love, a lust for life or something, and then you forget. I just remember liking it. Movies too, though, I'm getting terrible. I can't remember movie titles at all. Like, I'll watch something. I think it's because I'm watching so much stuff. Like,
Yes. Yes.
it's amazing that I get work done with as much movies that I watch. Okay, so wait, do you... Okay.
Also, there is another girl that is inspiring me a lot this year.
Okay.
That is it is a friend. She's an artist too. Julia Gita is from Romania.
Okay.
We spent some time together in Romania this summer, and it was always every day, each day was really so rich together. Like no,
She's in Romania.
no, she's living in Italy also,
Oh, okay.
but she's more in drawings. And yeah, I like a lot to spend time with people that you can feel that you are putting a lot of yourself in the middle.
Yeah, you're very passionate about. It was fun when I met you. I think you came to one of my second show at Sabrosa, and that was
The first one I was not here. No?
that was a year ago. Yeah, that was very different though, because I wasn't talking. I was quiet. I was
The second you was talking a bit.
Yeah, the second I was talking.
Not a bit, a lot.
And I was deathly ill, but that's the difference, right? Yeah, that was the last time I'm going on stage dying ever again. How long do you think you're going to stay in Athens? What's your feeling?
Until in this moment, I know that I have to stay more. I want to learn the language, and it's not so difficult for Italian. Probably it's worse for you.
Very hard.
But it's not also easy because I can maybe understand the structure of the sentence, everything, but the meaning of the words are completely different. So yes, but it's so interesting because also knowing the language, you can understand a lot about
the people.
People, yes. And the city. Also, the Greek is amazing because you can go back in the past and understand the meaning of the word. I'm not so good with words.
Yeah.
Sometimes it depends. Sometimes, but yes, I'm very interested in it. So I need maybe 1 year, 2 years more.
I feel, or I'm going to be here forever.
Or maybe forever. Think so.
I feel like I need to go see every abandoned ruin ever. There's so many, I keep hearing about all these temples are just outside the city that aren't even kept up. They're in these fields.
Yeah, we are only in Athens.
Yeah, we're only in Athens. There's so much. That part's exciting to me. I want to get settled so I can start traveling a bit more in the country. Do you have anything planned? Is there another work? I mean, besides, I know you and I are dancing in like 30 days or something. Oh,
yeah.
And we need to take a photo tonight too.
Yes. And to record
our dreams. We got a lot to do. Actually, we could wait till someone else gets here.
About dreams, we can do it.
We could do it within this. That's totally true.
But it was a bad dreams or a good dreams, or what?
I don't have the internet, so I think she said, yeah, I think it was bad dreams. It was bad dreams.
Do you remember dreams?
I do and I don't. I've been flying in my dreams lately, which is even more funny because they say that's a sign that you're very happy. And I am. I'm not depressed right now at all. Like, I'm in no shape or form. I keep waiting for it to, like, click in. Because it's winter, and there's a lot of shit happening. But I'm not at all. I'm, like, and I keep having these dreams. I have a continuous dream about flying, where over the years, I'd have these dreams where I'd fly, but I couldn't control it. So, like, I knew how to lift my body off the ground, but then I'd start floating through. My last few dreams about flying, I'm like completely in control. Like I can go and do whatever. It's almost like a lucid dream.
Yeah.
I can fly around. I've flown around the city in Athens, like in the air. Yeah, it was a beautiful dream. It was really gorgeous. But not every day. I wake up sometimes. I mean, I drink a bit, so alcohol does affect your dream cycle. What about you?
I remember my dreams just maybe the first 10 minutes after I wake up. Then,
Did you forget them?
yes, as movies.
Do you have any recurring dreams though? Like, do you have like a dream from childhood that you still occasionally have, or no?
No.
Interesting. I have like 3 of them that come back like once a year. I have the same dream every year.
When I was a child, I was always dreaming the same, and it was very scary for me. I was putting my head on the pillow, and I was pretty sure that I was listening something in the pillow, like a noise every night, because maybe it's the noise that you can, if you pay attention now when you go to the bed.
Yeah.
The contact with the pillow, like the shell, gives you some noise. It's not like the shell that is so deep because there is no space, but is a noise. And I was dreaming that was a noise coming from a sort of witch that living in my garage.
That is scary.
In the building.
Unless she was a good witch.
And then I start every night to do the same dream, that I was running in the garage, and there was this witch running behind me to catch me, and my legs cannot run. This is very bad for a child.
No, that's a common one.
I was very happy.
When you're panicked, you can't. Suddenly, your body stops working.
It's like I cannot move it.
Yeah.
They're very heavy and blocked.
It's funny, I did this today, even though I got to bed at like 8 o'clock in the morning, because I was calling people in America. But when the rain started and the thunder, I woke up and I remember going, because there was a major rainstorm here today, just in case you want to know. I do this thing, because I praise the Greek gods now that I'm here, and I'm like, okay, Zeus is talking, I'm just gonna fall asleep listening to Zeus. Crash. Because there was some thunder and there was some, and I did fall and I was sleeping on my side, and I did have this weird orientation where like the rain was comforting, but my head against the pillow, this side I was a little panicked. I don't know why.
So you were like half
and half, I was also going to say, I have an unfortunate habit now of listening to podcasts or radio while I sleep. It's something my dad used to do, and it affects my dreams. Like and I have to be careful because I don't like dreaming about the president of the United States and stuff, but it happens. What about so you have recurring dreams, but no wait, you don't have recurring dreams. You had them as a child. Do you want to remember your dreams? Have you read a book on lucid dreaming or anything?
No.
No?
I think I just put in my memory as was something that happens.
Yeah.
Really. Like, I think as an experience. Like I put everything in this. Yes.
Experiences in your art.
They are, no? An experience.
I have a question for you. Do you get nervous when you're performing? Did you get nervous before?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot, usually.
How long before?
It depends, the performance and why I'm doing the performance. It happens, I was doing some workshop or festival together with other artists. This one in Subrosa, it was the only one I did alone, the first one. I did alone, that I was
Really?
the only one in the program, yes. And I was really not nervous this time, because I planned my time, I was very comfortable in the place. I could stay there for 10 days before. But usually I'm completely like 1 hour before, or it depending a lot how many times I had to prepare the performance. If I'm sure that I worked a lot before on it, I'm good. In this kind of festival I did sometimes, it was like 1 week residency together with some artists came explaining, and then you have to prepare a performance in 2 days. No?
Yeah.
And maybe these things that you cannot use all your time, the time that you want, can be okay for one point because you are very you have to work, so you are more
Your
exciting,
adrenaline,
no?
yeah.
Adrenaline is very important for performance. But
I'm with you because when the few times, I mean, that I'm not, and I did a lot in San Francisco, but when you perform in a group show, or even if everyone has a different room or a different stage, when there's a schedule, I don't feel a competition, but inevitably there's that weird vibe that everyone's, and then I get more nervous when I realize that there's.
You cannot decide maybe to go longer, no? Because maybe after you there is another one you cannot.
Yeah,
you want
there's
not
that.
to take the time of the other.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to give that a little more thought. But yeah, that's true. I keep saying I'm gonna give up. Every time I perform, I go, that's the last time. I'm never gonna do it again. And then, of course, now you and I are performing. But
I would like to perform forever.
I do perform forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is fascinating. Or maybe it's also me getting older too. I just don't. Certain things just don't bother me anymore. I just don't. Also, I usually have a strong drink before I perform, but that's my persona. Did you have a drink before the show, or were you sober?
Usually, because I quit to smoke some years ago, but I have this rule that before to perform I smoke. But
Oh, really?
yes.
Fascinating.
But if I want.
Yeah.
The last time I didn't,
Okay.
and it was very bad in a way.
When you did?
Whatever, you know, if you need, you can decide. But yeah, it means maybe that I need just to work. I need to work well. I don't need nothing else, maybe. But
I have to have like a little bit of escapism. I have to I don't like to be drunk, but I like to be slightly. I like to be in this perfect. My body's warm.
because alcohol give you this feeling, this warming.
For me, yeah.
Yes, for you. For me, it's more something nervous. No, it's like.
Oh, really?
Yes. But also if I don't use.
Cigarettes make me nervous. I smoke cigarettes and I get all like.
Yeah. It's not good, I think. Anyway, it's not good. It's maybe because you need something. For me, is anyway. I'm very nervous also with people around me, mostly. Like, I can be very annoying, asking every time to do something to shut up. I need this. I need to do stretching.
You turn into a diva before the piece?
What I need is to do stretching before.
Okay.
Yes, something about. Come si dice?
Yeah, you know.
These two.
When I took painting classes at a small school in Kansas, there were only 2 people in the painting class. My instructor insisted, the first thing he taught me when we came into class is that we had to do push-ups. And he made us exercise for 15 minutes before we painted. And he insisted on it. And I actually think it was a really good lesson. To this day, I still, if I need to paint and I can't focus, I start to I exercise a little bit and then I'm fine. It's fascinating. I'm trying to think of, besides us performing in a couple weeks, do you have anything else planned?
I just has this image of me with a long beard.
A beard? Nice.
From the top, You know this place is two level.
Yeah.
Are
Wait.
you asking? No, are you asking to the bar?
No, wait. You're describing a piece you want to do?
No.
Oh, you want to grow a long beard?
Because when in our performance together,
Yeah. Oh, you want to do it in our performance together?
what you ask me? Because
I just asked you if you had another piece coming up.
yes, of course, always. But I don't know yet.
Wait, were you describing what you want to do at our performance? Is that what you were just describing? Awesome, I love it.
Because last time you said to me, you should has a beer. Have a beer.
That sounds like something I would say.
But this is the next one.
Okay.
I had nothing before.
Okay. But you're going back to Italy for a few days?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I will go in March. Probably I will go in Ukraine.
Kiev?
In Lviv.
Okay.
For a festival.
Okay.
That a friend of me, Andriy Helitevich, it's difficult. He is organizing with other people, and so I will prepare something also for this.
Yeah.
But now in my room it's too cold to. I want to start drawing, because for me it's like the same drawing and perform is the same process. Just yes, is completely the same for me.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't like to try performance before to do it. I cannot do it again the same, like, because of that we said before, that we live some places for the freedom of the performance, for these things that I cannot act, I cannot know the schedule of the performance. I like to do it only once.
Yeah. I only have one piece that I repeat over and over again, and it's the quiet one. So I sit and I draw at a desk, and I can sit for hours. But yeah, if I'm going to perform and talk, it's one time and it's done.
Also drawings are one time. If you do
different
the same performance, but drawing is a different.
It's different every time, for sure.
Yes. Also, I did once, 2 times, but the place was completely different, so the performance changed so much. I was with a friend of me, an artist also, Federica Peirolo, that she came also here in Athens to see my performance 1 month ago, and we were hanging in a wall, like in the climb, with the climb rope. I was still stopping the wall, and she was secure me from the floor, but in staying horizontal, not in standing vertical. And we did once in a sort of old buildings in Rome, very old, destroyed. And then we did it again in a museum in Rome, and in the wall of a museum. And it was completely different, yes. Because of that, our image in a museum changed completely the game.
The aesthetic, the aesthetic, or?
Yes, because I was looking the sky for 20 minutes, completely still in the wall, and using the museum to see the sky, it was a very good image for the artist's life, like to use the museum to look the sky.
Okay.
For just do it, to use the museum to stay in the museum to see whether the.
It's making me think about Michelangelo on a sitting flat.
Yeah.
Painting the sky with God. And Jesus. Of course. Well, Lucia, it's been a pleasure.
For me, thank you.
Yeah, it's been fun. We can do it again too. After we've spent a little more time in Athens and we have more to talk about.
Of course.
But we have to do one more thing. We have to sing the theme song on the way out.
Really?
Yeah. I think I forgot to do it on the last two, but this is the normal way. Are you ready?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Time Waster Radio. Radio for those who refuse to listen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. And